that was silly, ridiculous, a waste of time. They didn't want. That's why they were so successful. That's why they got away.
Made a living in very dangerous.
This is really an integrated blue together.
Dianne Andrews in black and white.
Hello, this is Fuji Totes. I just found out Fuji could not come in with me, so I'm making a little video for you to see how the pillow works with the doggy in it. As you see, Fuji's in here in the bottom of this. At the end, after I take him out, I'm going to take all the things that are in here with him that you need on a trip, or whether you're just going, for an afternoon, everything you need to take the dog. I have driven all the way to Las Vegas, Nevada, and taken Fuji and my other dog on multiple with me with their meds, their leashes, their water, cup, and whatever, in one pack, a couple of packs of food are in the bottom of this. By the way, I even have a COVID test. If you think your dog has COVID, it's in the bottom here that you can carry. And I'm going to show you, even with all that in the bottom, he can still lay here and feel nothing. You see him sitting down on it. He can still do that with all the things in there. And I'll show you what was in there. He had a Play-Doh. He had the COVID test, as I laughed about. He has a heavy leash. He has a water bottle. He has some food. And another leash. This pillow only weighs about 3 pounds. So whatever you need in your necessities are for your dog can go in here, along with the dog as you carry him wherever you want to go. To the park. And I'll tell you, sometimes I use this to put things as I go outside. So this is Fuji's Totes. And they are patented. Now, I'm going to show you in the presentation the large pillow. All of these are multifunctional pillows that can be used for cover-ups, for totes, for luggage. And I'm going to tell you the story how I started Fuji Totes. Fuji was, but anyway, I'll say that personally to you. I don't have to tell you all that now. Thank you.
Welcome to Dianne Andrews in black and white. Thanks for being with us today, whether you're watching us on our 1.7 million households, or whether you're on television, or whether you're watching us on YouTube, Rumble, or some of our all the social media platforms, really. I have been trying to do a Black Men for Trump to see what they really think about Donald Trump and why so many black men are going to Donald Trump. As we see, there's some pandering being done on the Democratic side, like offering legal marijuana dispensaries to only black men, which as a lawyer, I think the presidential candidate Harris knows that that may not be constitutional. And are we the only people that can sell legal marijuana? Come on back to Dianne Andrews in black and white. Let's talk to the two gentlemen who we're going to discuss why they are voting for Donald Trump. Welcome back to Dianne Andrews. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for returning to hear this today. I first want to talk to Evangelist Carl Brown. He's in 186 million homes worldwide. That's a big network. It's on the Now Network.
Yes.
And he's got 56 million in the United States.
Yes.
He was a pastor of 4 churches.
Yes.
He's written 5 books. And he worked with the Swaggart administration and on shows there for many years, correct?
Exactly, right.
Brother Brown?
Yes.
And you probably remember Darrell from last week. You saw him here when we talked about Coach Sid Edwards, who's running for the mayoral spot here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And as you know, he was an athlete. He's had prostate cancer. And he told a very warming story about how God saved him from his demise, with leading him to the right people that could give him the tools to let him still be with us today. Let's start with you, Brother Brown. Tell me, why are you for Donald Trump?
Well, first of all, let me say this, Ms. Andrews, is that I appreciate your invitation to be on your program. I've watched you many times, and I was impressed with what I saw and heard, for sure. I'm a supporter of Donald Trump because of what he stands for. The man loves America. That in itself says everything.
That's right.
He has common sense, and he stands for that which is right for this nation. I don't particularly like the fact that we have to, and I know this is what needs to be done, deal with from a black perspective what's going on. It really shouldn't be about that. It really shouldn't be about race. It shouldn't be about color, obviously. It should be about what the candidates stand for, policies.
That's right.
When President Trump was president of the United States, of this great nation, we were in better shape in 4 years than we had been in a long time.
That's right.
And so what he stood for, what he stands for, his personal makeup, his personal character, I'm not interested in trying to go that route because who would be able to stand up and qualify? We're not voting for a pastor.
That's right.
We're voting for the leader of the world's most powerful office.
I'm just going to interject this. And they tried to say Donald Trump is such a bad man morally. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. Never has ever in his life.
Right.
Brother was an alcoholic, and he never went. A lot of discipline, right, to never do that because of what your brother was. Okay, he's got this charge against this old woman, Jean Carroll. That I don't think. I lived in New York at that time with IBM, and I've seen where the hotel is. They're supposed to the store that he was supposed to rape her in. When you go in that store, you have to check the clothes in. It's a very, very, Burdock Goodman, one of the most expensive stores in this country. You're not going to push a woman in there and rape her. Not in Burdock Goodman.
Right.
They have women to take
Right.
your clothes.
Right.
So I don't believe that from her. The sentence was, the statute of limitations had ended 15 years ago. The New York governor changed it for her to sue him. And she also said her black husband, who was an anchor in New York when I lived there, raped her also. Is something wrong with her? After she won, she had a lawyer there. What you want me to buy? What y'all want me to buy? She was on CNN. So, and okay, he may have had a few alliances, but I haven't heard that much since he's been married to Melania. Melania would probably slap him.
Right.
But for a billionaire in New York City that every woman wanted, I don't think he's got that bad of a reputation. I don't.
I think it would be good for us to understand what's behind it all. Everybody loved Donald Trump before he ran for president.
Yeah, handout.
And when he defeated Hillary Clinton,
Yes.
this is what I don't think many people are aware of. That was a system set up. That was something in place for Hillary Clinton to continue to destroy
This country.
America.
That's right.
This is not
To
an
continue
accident.
Obama.
What is happening here is not an accident.
No.
And as much as Obama had some part to play in this, he was only a tiny part
That's right.
of an overall picture of what's going on that you cannot see behind the scene. This is the spiritual battle, Dianne. This is for the soul of this nation.
It's really for the soul of the world, Evangelist, don't you think?
This is intentional to bring America. No one can be that dumb
That's right.
and run this country
To do
like
what these
that
people
and
are
run
doing.
it in the ground 4 years. That's intentional.
That's right.
But
It's for the soul of the world because
I'm
we are the
waiting for
fear of the
someone
world.
to ask the question, why?
Why would Iran, he killed Soleimani 4 years ago, and now all of a sudden they want to kill Donald Trump because they killed the General Soleimani, who was building an alliance with Russia
Right.
and to get them to nuclear sooner.
Right.
I believe they probably already have nuclear. Who knows? There's something going on with the nuclear, and they're stopping Israel from doing what they're supposed to do. If you've got a bad leg and you have diabetes and you got ulcers, they're going to have to cut that leg off. And that's what Netanyahu's trying to do over there. Cut off the people that are
Yes.
killing his people and want to make Israel and God
Right.
to extinguish him.
Right.
What did Trump do? The Abraham Accords. He
Yeah.
had it all peaceful over there.
Yeah.
Should have won the Nobel Peace Prize. They gave him nothing.
Yeah.
You know, let me just jump in here and say this, you know, the nation right now, there's a big divide among the African American community, and let me tell you, in 2016, I predicted that Donald Trump would win because I kind of read the makeup of the country.
Okay.
They were disenchanted with the government the way it was. We had a lot of problems. Trump came in. But a lot of people don't realize this whole race is not about Trump and Harris. It's about the policies of the Democratic Party
That's
and
right.
the policies of the Republican Party.
That's right.
So if I had I guess would weigh, you would take Donald Trump off one side, Kamala Harris off the other side, Biden and whoever you want to have, and you would set a set of policies. And then the nation would have to make a decision.
I know where you're going.
Am I going to go
go.
with the policies that are destructive to families, that's against God, against God's word? Or am I going to go with the policies that's going to help America and that's going to be the right thing for the whole nation and to keep this whole world together? Because the problem is the United Nations.
Oh, yeah. We bought and paid for them a long time ago and still do.
United Nations.
That's right.
That's your problem.
When
and because
did
they are against
identity
Israel.
Politics become a part of politics? When did this
Under Bill Clinton, Gina paid for, that's what we got.
Identity politics is what's crippling the nation right now.
Even Reagan, I went to see the movie because I didn't know, I liked him, I didn't know as much about it, but there were communist forces then. He talked about overcoming communism when he was president of the United States. One thing I want to interject here again, we are the world's pocketbook. Obama left $75 billion in Iraq. He said ISIS, that's when I started my show, right after him, talking about ISIS is a JV team. I said, is he crazy? ISIS is killing people all over, including in Africa. And trying to make, they think we're stupid. And so many of us are. I was a Democrat when Obama won, but I looked up all this stuff. I said, where does this man come from? He's got a brother that lives in a shanty house with a room about the size of this little area we're sitting in and has dirt floors. I said, if he don't care about his brother, look just like him in Kenya, why would he care about America? And you look at his background, he comes from a lot of money. His background is a lot of money. His stepfather was ambassador to Indonesia. He was raised in Jakarta and then went back to Hawaii when he was 15, just like Kamala was raised in Montreal, Canada.
Let me interject.
But let me one more thing I want people to know. He said he left $75 billion of our equipment. What did Joe Biden do? $85 billion, which is being sold right now. China has most of the stuff copying it. Russia has some, and the rest of it is being sold on the black market. The Taliban is selling our equipment. Bagram Air Force Base was $200 billion that we built, the best in the world. China has it.
We're talking about black men supporting.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I had to get
Trump.
on what they've done.
I want to make this comment because it is going to be fairly direct, to be honest with you, but as I was preparing one of my television programs, I felt the Lord speak to my heart and told me in the midst of what I was dealing with to address the black pastors
Bought and sold.
of this country.
Bought and sold, right, a lot of them.
Because this is, believe it or not, this is why many of our black people still vote the way that they
I know.
do.
You know what I told somebody when I was in East Baton Rouge, Republican women, the only black woman in there, and they wouldn't do anything, so I don't go anymore. They wouldn't move out. When Trump lost, quote lost, the last election, I said we need to get out to women. We need to get in the black churches. All you got to do is tell them, do you believe in killing a baby in the 7th, 8th, and 9th month when it can live? And I guarantee you, 80% of black women are going to say no, right? It's the policy. But now he want to stop women's health care. When did abortion, it's health care for that little baby that's dying. Now, I do believe in abortion, but I believe in it after 15 weeks the baby can live. I don't believe in that after 15 weeks. The heartbeat bill will never make it in America. 6 weeks, you don't even know you're pregnant. Okay, I'm going. That's a big deal with women.
I want to inject something. Twice, President Obama, for 2 years, had control of the House, the Senate.
That's right.
And
his office, the whole thing.
And the presidency. If they truly wanted to do something with Roe v. Wade and implement any law and put it in place, he had the opportunity.
Right.
Then
just like with the Dreamers, with the Latin people, they fool them.
Then Joe Biden and Kamala Harris had the same opportunity.
That's right.
And they didn't. It's the carrot that they dingle in the face of women because they want to keep it a hot button issue.
With us, against conservatives.
Right. Now let me say this to you.
That's so true.
And you think about what I'm about to say. In this country, what do white, black, rich, poor, no matter what your nationality, economic standards is, what do we don't do together? They live together, they go to school together, we go to work together, we travel together, we go to sports and events together.
25% of marriages are between black, white, and brown people.
They marry each other, and then what is the only thing where we divided. It's called
Voting.
It's called politics.
Politics, yeah.
And you know why it's politics? Because that's the control factor. And that's what
it's intentional.
It's intentional.
That's what I saw 28 years ago when the Democratic Party said that my mindset was not aligned with their agenda. And look, the best thing ever happened to me was the ability to go out and do my own
When you were a
research.
city councilman, you were a Democrat then?
I was a
Of course,
Democrat.
you had to be a Democrat to win in this city.
I was a
Yes.
Democrat, but I was a conservative Democrat. And I was told by the Democratic Party, see, what people don't realize, in our community, our African American officials, and I'm not talking bad about them, but it is a fact. Where is the plan for housing in the inner city? Where is the plan for economic development?
Harris is going to build 3 million houses, but they're going to be for the illegals.
But listen to me. Instead of talking Barack Obama and all of the haters who hate Donald Trump,
They don't know Donald Trump either.
And they're talking to people like ourselves, the three of us. They don't realize that it's not Donald Trump, it's the issues that the Democratic Party has given them, and they have no option. They are obligated. They are obligated to vote for the Democratic Party. They're holding.
Well, they pay the preachers. Let's be real. They go in,
That's been going on for a
pastor's day,
long time.
birthday, church anniversary, and while I'm there, can I speak a little bit? Yeah, and tell you to vote for me. And I told the Republican Party women that I said you got to have some money if you want to talk and start trying to change a lot of these preachers' minds. They didn't think that they would separate us enough because black men, 40%, 25, 30% may go for Donald Trump. Only still 7-8% of the black women. They will not budge. Why do you think it is that black women won't budge? Is it the abortion issue? Have they poisoned them so much they believe my body, my choice is the biggest issue in this country?
I really don't think it's the abortion issue. I really don't. I think it's a mindset that has come down to the black community for years. When I was a kid, all we ever knew was Democrat.
I was a Democrat.
Democrat.
Yeah.
Most of us, if not all of us, grew up with that mindset.
That's right.
I had a sister that told me one day, she's no longer with us now, she don't care what the Democrats stand for. She's voting Democrat. That's the mindset.
Kamala Harris in Carolina campaigning the other day, and CNN was out asking the black women question. And she was saying something, and she said, I don't care what they do.
There you go.
I'm voting. So you're
That's
definitely
the
right.
mindset. It's the mindset.
Now, that's not normal up here.
But
Is
let
it?
me
I don't
get
care what
back
they
to
do,
this
what they
thought.
stand for. But let them try to take your house and see. When
There
that
you go.
Tren de Agua out in Aurora,
Yeah.
Colorado is in 6 apartment complexes, and the mayor says, oh, it's not that many. Let it be your 6. Let it be you. I'd be scared to death.
Yeah. Now, I want to say this about being conservative and being black. I know politicians know what that means because you don't win elections here in Louisiana that often if you're black.
That's right.
And conservative.
And conservative, right.
But I want to bring this from a different perspective. A black preacher that's conservative, an evangelist, myself,
Right.
travel the country, all over this country, preaching. I have preached in 2 black churches.
That's it. 2.
And I'm a native of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I haven't preached in Baton Rouge in the last 21 years. And I travel all over the country. The only place I've preached in Baton Rouge is the Jimmy Swaggart Ministries. And I grew up with all the pastors
Again, you ain't
in
paying.
this city.
You ain't paying to play.
But this is what I'm getting to. It's that liberal mindset
But you
that's
know,
crippling our
it
people.
is. But if you
coming
listen
from
to
the pulpit.
MSNBC and CNN, especially MSNBC, oh my God, they're crazy.
right.
And they believe that propaganda.
All of 'em.
I just listened to them. CNN is a little better now than they used to be. But
'cause they don't
MSNBC,
have
I don't
no
think I'm on the
ratings.
same planet. In The View, I've got a girlfriend of mine, my home girl. She said, I just love it. I said, I can't stand it. They ain't doing nothing but lying. But they believe the propaganda. That's
Right.
a lot of it to the media, I think,
Yeah.
the propaganda.
But I'm going to tell you, it comes from Sunday mornings.
Yes, but you know, a lot of us aren't going to church as much as we used to.
Yeah, but we still go, we still listen.
Yeah,
The question becomes, how can you sit in church on a Sunday and you say you are a follower of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and his principles that is laid out in the Bible and then go vote for the Democratic Party.
Well, that's
And then go say, I believe in abortion. You said it was 2 churches that you went to that did not.
Well, 2 black churches.
2 black churches. That you come.
My itinerary was from January to October every year. I take off November, December, spend the holidays with my family.
Yeah.
We start back over in January. From that length of time, January to October, traveling the country, I've only gone to 2 black churches.
That's it.
And watch this.
Have you tried others and they won't let you in?
I don't try to do it. I don't
okay.
ask for meetings. We always be contacted.
Yeah.
But this is one incident that happened. I was in a black church in Ohio. I mentioned President Trump from the pulpit. And
What
I
happened?
haven't been back to
They
that
walked
church.
out? Did they walk out?
No. It was the leadership that I had a problem with.
Well, again, that's
the people
about
didn't
money.
have a problem. What I'm trying to tell you is that the problem in the black community, and it's always been the black leadership
Yes.
in the church.
Yes.
That's what's governing the black community.
You know what? I got to go with the media too. The media is so poisoning people's minds. They
no
love
doubt
The View.
about
They
that.
love MSM. I think it's both.
But they're not going to follow the media if their leader don't follow the media.
Yeah, and they are.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think they fall in their pocketbook, a lot of it. Did you all ever see the program? I only saw one of them. I couldn't watch it more. The reality show with the black ministers in Los Angeles.
No.
Oh
I don't.
my God!
I saw a clip of it.
Yeah, it was. I saw one. You couldn't watch it all. They're flying around in their jets.
Oh,
The
Lord.
women are buying the biggest diamonds on Rodeo Drive. This is all. It was amazing how much money the black ministers have
Those are not
in these big
conservative
churches.
preachers
oh
either,
no, they're just
okay?
one. It's all
They're
about
not
me.
conservative.
And several of them were gay.
Yeah.
So more liberal people will tend to go to the more liberal places. Look at P. Diddy and T.D. Jakes. I understand is on camera. They've got him and his wife at some of the P. Diddy parties. So
Yeah.
One of the things that we need to
speak up, Dale, if you're gonna talk now.
one of the things that we need to do in our talk to the people is that we need them to realize, go do your research yourself.
That's right.
Go see if there's good policies or bad policies. And one of the things that Trump and the Republican Party is doing for this nation, they're fighting for the future of the nation, for our young people. When you start talking about a young boy going into the bathroom with a young lady,
That's
or a young lady thinks she's a boy going in the boy's bathroom, I mean, they're not mature enough to make that decision. And so there are bad policies and bad laws.
Not just that, Darrell, though, they're changing their sex in California without the
parental
parent
permission.
knowing.
That's right.
They changed their sex. That is a law. And did you see what
Minnesota, too.
Gavin
That's
Newsom
what,
just said? No voting ID. It is illegal.
Exactly.
He made a law in California. The governor said, "Why? Tell me, y'all. Tell me, Democrats, why don't they want voting ID shown? 14 states in this country have no voting ID rights. None. And so you go to the poll and you don't show anything. You could be anybody. And also the DOJ is suing Youngkin
Right.
in Virginia
Right.
because he found 7,000 or 8,000 people on the
And
rolls
they trying
already
to
that
stop
are
them
illegal.
from
They're
doing it.
they're not even citizens. He took them off the vote so they couldn't vote. And the DOJ Mayorkas just sued him and told him put them back on. They're letting illegal people vote. And they don't want you to have voting rights, so anybody can vote 2 or 3 times if you have no ID.
That's right.
And I think this, I think the people in the African American community who is criticizing conservative black Republicans need to talk to the Democratic Party and instead of talking to us, because the Democratic Party has given them agenda and it has mandated to them that they're going to support this agenda no matter what. So if you talk to the Democratic Party, you need to tell them to change their agenda to fit your background, your spirituality, things that govern your community and your children. And I tell you right now, the Democratic Party will ask you to leave.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
You're going to leave if you don't follow us. And when Nancy Pelosi was in office, I would hear her say some policy or change they wanted. I heard everybody on TV say that policy that day. I heard any Democrat that talked say that policy. I will say this, our own worst enemy in the Republican Party is Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell has $400 million. Ted Cruz is about to lose his race in Texas. He has not given him a penny. His PAC has $400 million. So he decides who he wants to give money to. And people, he's going to let, because this guy has spent $1 billion in
Ted
Texas.
Cruz is
the Democrat,
having to
the black
ask
guy.
for help.
That's right. I've been
financially.
trying to send him money every week.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say
Everybody, if you can't help Ted Cruz.
I want to tell you this. It had always been my philosophy that I've never seen a dollar bill go to the poll. I'm being honest with you.
Go to the poor?
To the polls.
Oh, yeah.
I've never looked behind
Oh.
me and saw money voting. Let me tell you what the good candidates, your record, if you run on your record and your record don't help you to get reelected with the population, then you have a problem. Now you have to get your information out because he's running in the state of Texas. All right. So what I'm saying to a lot of politicians, don't get sucked in to that. If you don't have the kind of money, look at mayoral candidate right now, raised $1 million in Baton Rouge, and he's in third place in the polls.
It's not all about money.
It's not
Donald
about
Trump
money.
didn't spend as much as Hillary.
It's about your platform, your agenda, and how much confidence the people have in you as a politician.
The problem with Texas, he's trying to win back, and you got all these illegals who have come over who don't know him. The problem is the ads. The ads they're putting out are such lies that it's making Ted Cruz look different. You know, he don't want you to have an abortion. He doesn't want this. He gonna change Texas to this. He never. So it's the problem. They're putting them on every 30 seconds in Texas because they had money. So does she. You can't tell me Ukraine is not. Do you think any of that money maybe come back in through George Soros? Do you really think they raising all these billions and billions and billions of dollars from their party people?
Of course not.
That money's coming. That's why they love war.
It's called super PACs.
That's
Yeah.
right. George
Exactly.
Soros ain't that rich. Some of that money coming to his super PAC.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well,
Well, what's the most important thing? We're going to be getting trying to close up. Brother Brown, what would you like to leave with the people?
Well, I would like to leave what has already been said, and that is do your research. Do your research. Sometimes when I hear that, the thought comes back to mind, don't bother me with facts. It's
Right.
sad that we have that mentality.
Yes.
But we need to determine for ourselves what we believe first of all. And also, Darrell said, how can you go to church every Sunday, listen at the preacher, and then vote for a party that stands against everything that God stands for?
But as you just said, brother, a lot of those preachers
Yeah, well,
are agreeing
true,
with what they're
true,
saying on TV.
True.
That's the problem. Thanks for watching us, and I hope you didn't turn it off when we started talking about Donald Trump. You may learn something. See you next week. Dianne Andrews in black and white. And go out and vote. But before you vote for Harris, just see who she really is. And
Right.
maybe go see who Donald Trump really is, and maybe it'll change your mind, because this man doesn't have to do this. He's doing it because he loves this country. And I love this country also. I think we all up here do.
Absolutely.
America's the greatest place in the world, but it's turning into a nightmare. Come on back next week. Thank you.